It's how badly you want it, fairly obviously in sport and in business. Okay, how do you get that into those players? I mean, particularly the young players. How do you build it in yourself even? How do you build that desire? I mean, we talk about goals. We talk about what is it? Is it confidence? You believe you're going to get there? What gives you that extra desire? Such a strong.
I think it's every successful person. You're probably the boss of the company. You're probably first in and last to leave. And for me, when I was told I wasn't going to be a footballer, I was the first into training and the last to leave. Even though I had the furthest to travel, even when I got to 36, 37, towards the end of my career at Derby, I live in Manchester. I'd drive there every day, be the first at the training ground, be the last to leave. In the fitness test, make sure on holiday, make sure. I would always think, Nigel, that in my position, if I was doing X, somebody would be doing X and Y. So I would make sure I would do more. And that was my philosophy all the way through my life, that if I'm doing this, what would my competitor, what would my person trying to get in my space, in my team, be doing? So I say to the kids now that, when you turn up, make sure you're prepared. Make sure, you prepare right, which is the main thing. But, just have that desire in you to think, do you know what? I might not be stronger, or you've got different attributes. But if you can work on, as I've said, if you can have a belief in you to think, do you know what? I'm going to prove people wrong every day. And Martin O'Neill said to me once, you imagine this for man management, I'm sure, in your business, and I've been to some of your events, and I can see the passion, the drive, the determination, building from within, is massive. And that's what I'm trying to do here at Macclesfield, give kids an opportunity at 16 to play in the first team, because I believe they have your beliefs and your philosophy, and they can grow within your business. So I know you do that at the Via exceptionally well from being at your events. So for me, it's all about application, attitude. And Martin O'Neill once said to me, we played Liverpool, you imagine being a young kid in Wrexham watching Match of the Day. I was allowed to stay up on a Saturday night to watch Match of the Day, and then being on it as a football player was a dream come true. The iconic music, and I remember getting my mum, my dad, my grandparents, my brother, my mates at my first house in Leicester. We drew with Liverpool 2-2, and Muzzy Izzet scored 2 great goals. John Motson was the commentator. So the interview, we were first on Match of the Day, which was strange for Leicester. I think it was because it was Liverpool. John Motson said to Martin O'Neill, 2-2 today against Liverpool. Muzzy Izzet the 2 goals, but the boy that stood out was the kid you just bought from Crewe for 400 grand, Robbie Savage. And Martin said, yeah, John, brilliant, absolutely fantastic today. And John said, what's he good at? And he went, well, he's got great energy, but he lacks one thing. And can you imagine this, that I'm on Match of the Day, knowing everybody's watching it. And John said, what's that? And Martin said, ability. So you imagine that you've done one of the best games you've ever had. You're new to the Premier League. You can only imagine being on Match of the Day, albeit playing Liverpool, being man of the match, and your manager comes out and said he lacks one thing, ability. So on the Monday morning, he called me into the office, and obviously, as managers, as CEOs, you probably have a method in terms of how to get the best out of individuals and the motivation. And he called me in the office, and we just signed a player from Bolton, Arno Gunnlaugsson, for £3 million. And I think he was Icelandic international, fantastic ability. So Martin called me and he said, you see Match of the Day? I said, yeah. He said, what did you think? I said, well, it was a bit harsh. And he went, let me tell you this. He said, I've just bought Arno from Bolton for £3 million. He's not in my team. Why? And I said, well, I have no idea. He said, he's got all the ability in the world, but consistency, every single day in training, every match. I know what I'm getting from you on a daily basis with your work ethic, with your desire, with everything you bring. Yes, you might lack a little bit of ability, but I know, and me saying this about you, you'll try and prove me wrong in the next game, and the next game, and the next game. And on the other hand of that, there's a guy called Steve Guppy. And this, for me, I've taken throughout my life in terms of how to manage people. We played Southampton away, and we got beat 3-0. Steve Guppy just got an England squad, and he was hopeless on that day. We were all bad. And I remember Scott's having one of the worst games we've seen. So we sat down the change room after the game. Martin walks in. And Martin would take 30 seconds to look around the room, and you'd be thinking, oh, please don't have a go at me. And he'd be waiting. And we all knew as a group, Steve Guppy had a shocker. Every cross went out of play. He missed control and everything. He was hopeless. And after the game, Martin come in and he went, yeah, he's just silent. And he went, Steve Guppy, you were magnificent today. Absolutely brilliant. So all the lads on the bus afterwards said, what was he on about? And Gups showed us roles in that changing room because Martin knew if he'd have had a go at him, he'd have lost him for the next 6 or 7 games. The next game, Gups was magnificent once again. Just goes to show man management in any walk of life is so important.
Yeah. And to give perspective on that, in those days, Match of the Day was the only game, right? So there wasn't. So you must have thought the world was watching you